The industry is shaking. Once again, the musician in charge of the RTOR scale is Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. People have seen the memes. We've seen the petty back and forth. But there's something important that recently surfaced on the timeline. It's a nuclear assault. According to reports, 50 Cent uploaded a video that allegedly supports the long-standing music. Dark charges against T and his wife Tiny Harris. For music years, the conflict has been tormented by whispers of the vault in the dark room, king of the South's reputation. Music. Many women have shared their horrifying accounts of coercion, drugging, and systemic abuse. However, in the court of public opinion, it remained a he said, she said struggle in the absence of visual evidence. That was changed an hour ago. Music. 50 Cent is an 8-man who never forgets a grudge and never misses a chance to expose his rivals. Apparently gained access to a video that the Harris family music most likely wanted to keep secret forever. The film purports to show the inner workings of their secret gatherings, where the line between celebration and predation is supposed to become dangerously unclear. It is grainy, disorganized, and incredibly unsettling. Is this the last piece of proof that will end the empire of the rubber band man? Or is this music just another example of the most dangerous man on Instagram using digital manipulation and character assassination? Music. Tonight, we're examining more than just the headlines. We are exploring the actual frames of the video. The explosive consequences and the accusations passed are currently tearing apart Atlanta's elite. Now that the receipts are finally on Music the table, the king of the South might be facing an enduring checkmate. So buckle up. This is an analysis of the video in which music was crucial. The internet has always been a battleground for 50 Cent. But today's events were more than just a skirmish. T.I.'s music reputation was totally betrayed. To understand the gravity of this revealed film, we need to look at the source. Instead of just presenting content, Curtis Jackson used music as a weapon. For months, the rivalry between these two heavyweights of the 2000s has been simmering. Music beneath the surface, occasionally bursting into taunts or insults from Verzu. But 50 Cent prefers the surgical strike. While T usually responds with long, intelligent words, he waited until everyone was distracted by something else music before releasing a clip that effectively depleted the room of all oxygen. The aforementioned video, which began circulating music late last night, claims to reveal a side of the Harris household that fans are only aware of through hushed accusations and redacted court documents. Music. It appears to be a darkly lit luxury hotel suite or a private music club space. The kind of environment where famous and wealthy people think they are above the law. The video doesn't have a party-like atmosphere. There is a palpable feeling of discomfort. Music. As the camera pans, we hear subdued battles, see shadows moving in the distance, and most importantly see several young women who are obviously confused and appear to be restrained by someone. Music. Inside the inner circle, we caught a glimpse of individuals that social media detectives have previously identified as members of T's entourage. However, a specific interaction with a lady who music doesn't seem to be able to sustain herself is the primary source of conflict. The leak states that this video backs up the transportation and drug-related allegations that have formed the basis of Tip and Tawny's legal claims. It is just as vital to feel as it is to see. Music. A complete power imbalance where fans are not guests but targets. As usual, the caption for 50 Cent was vicious. He didn't only share the video by naming well-known news outlets and legal professionals. He successfully forced the mainstream media to acknowledge what has long been a secret. Music. By doing this, he managed to get past the traditional gatekeepers of celebrity PR. Their team. Music usually works behind the scenes to halt the story before it takes off. When a celebrity of T.I.'s caliber is under such extreme strain, on a verified account with 50 million followers, a story with music that has already garnered 5 million views cannot be erased. The immediate aftermath was total chaos. Within music minutes of the upload, the comment sections became a war. Free Tips advocates claim that the video is out of context, that the music has been significantly manipulated, or even that it is a deepfake produced by artificial intelligence with the goal of discrediting a black mogul. On the other music side, the victim's supporters are far more vocal. For these individuals, the video is not a leak. It validates a trauma that has been denied for almost a decade. They draw attention to the room's unique features that align with the statements made by Sabrina, Peterson Music, and other accusers who came forward in 2021. What makes this specific 50 Cent shift so problematic is its timing. Music. In an effort to alter his professional trajectory, T has recently focused on stand-up comedy music and community leadership. trying to distance himself from the perception of the streets as a place of enormous hustle. Music. He wanted to be recognized as an older statesman of culture, but 50 Cent has a knack for dragging people back into the mess. By releasing this video today, he has effectively reset the clock, causing the audience to see T not as an activist or comedian but as a defendant music in the court of public opinion. It is also necessary to consider the technology aspect of the leak. How was this song obtained by 50 Cent? According to industry reports, certain prominent figures in the music industry began to face legal challenges. Previously kept files and insurance folders are beginning to relocate. Music people are terrified. When people are scared, they talk. Additionally, while they talk and play music, they share information for security. 50 Cent has constantly claimed to be the one who knows where the deceased are. In this instance, it seems he didn't just find music, the body. He found the video of the crime. The psychological toll on the Harris family cannot be overstated. So far, they have put on a musical unified front, rejecting each charge as a shakedown or music an attempt to exert control. They have relied on the fact that most of the accusations, music lacked concrete evidence from the era in which they were allegedly made. Most of the music claims were made in the mid-2000s and early 2010s, before everyone had a high-definition camera in their pocket. But this video modifies the maths. It provides a visual focal point for the narrative. Even though the video doesn't show a crime being committed in the first 30 seconds, the atmosphere it conveys is so consistent with the victim's assertions that the public's benefit of the doubt has vanished. As we music review the video, T himself briefly appears at the music end of the tape. His composure is almost unnerving in comparison to the women suffering in the room. This juxtaposition is fueling the current internet outrage. It shows a man who feels untouchable and operates in a realm where he establishes the rules. Music. 50 Cent knew exactly what he was doing when he highlighted specific music instances. Instead of just showing a movie, he was telling a story of exploitation. The industry has been utterly silent. Music. Everyone in Hollywood and the rap scene stops talking to watch the wind when a video like this is out. Nobody wants to defend a music ship that is sinking, but nobody wants to be the first to leap off and look like a traitor. But the silence from Music T's camp is the most important issue. This is typically followed by a Marine Sandist letter or an irate Instagram live response. A 50 Cent music attack within an hour. This time, the radio is silent. Music. It suggests that the legal team is currently in a war room trying to find an explanation for this. Music. Harmful movie. This is no longer just a dispute between celebrities. This is a time of reckoning for the groupie culture of the 2000s. For years, rappers' personal habits were seen as part of the game and an open secret in music. But as the music and video continue to circulate, the audience is making it clear that the game has changed. In addition to leaking a video, 50 Cent opened a door that I thought would never open. Music. And as we proceed to the next phase of this breakdown, we need to find out the exact history of these music-specific victims. What part does this video play in the sinister rituals that the Harris family of music has long been accused of? There is much more to Rabbit Hole than just one grainy video. Music. As the elements of the plot begin to come together, the image becomes darker. 50 Cent hasn't just started a fire. He put petrol on a burning building that was on the verge of collapsing. Music. The explosion in the video is about the history of the burning house. To understand Music. Why the 50 Cent's leak is so harmful, we need to look at the breadcrumb path that led us here. For over a decade, Clifford Music Tass and Tamka Tiny Harris have occupied a unique position in hip music hop. The Southern Royal Pair. They were a family-friendly reality TV powerhouse, not just singers. But behind that carefully crafted picture of the family business was a far darker tale, one involving the vault, drugged beverages, and a systematic music pattern of abuse that dozens of women have tried to uncover. That was controversial in and of itself, but after that, everything was different. Music. Peterson became a lightning rod for other survivors. She began sharing scores of screenshots from women who said they had been drugged, kidnapped, and sexually assaulted by the couple and their friends. The stories were uncannily similar. A special cocktail from Tiny, a night at a club, Music, an invitation to a hotel suite or VIP area, and then complete loss of memory and bodily autonomy. These weren't just internet rumors. These in-depth accounts set off a multi-state legal maelstrom. Music. Renowned attorney Tyrone Blackburn stepped in, representing a number of women and promoting probes in Georgia and California. He described a torrent of wickedness over a span of more than 15 years. Despite all the chaos, the Harris family was still legally music untouchable. Why? Because the one thing that ruins most older cases is the statute of limitations. Music Los Angeles prosecutors chose not to file charges because the alleged incidents occurred in 2005, which is just too long ago for the law to catch up. This leads us to the significance of the alleged 50 Cent DVD Despite Music, the struggle for justice throughout the Mito era. So far, Tiny and T-Music have been unwavering in their defense. It's a shakedown. These women are lying in order to get influence or money. They relied on the lack of concrete proof of music. But in 2026, when 50 Cent is making the transition from rap icon to documentary filmmaker with his allegedly surviving T-Music and Tiny project, the digital receipts are now being revealed, music rather than just being content. The video that 50 Cent alluded to is a bridge. It connects the Jane Doe tales from 2005 to the present. When you watch music footage that exactly matches the setting described by the victims, the specific lighting, the presence of specific co-workers, and the women's evident agony, the music shakedown defense starts to seem like a desperate lie. Here, we have to look at 50 Cent's psychological warfare. He is more than just an observer. He is an initiator and is aware of the power of the slow burn. By publishing this film, he is essentially validating every woman who was ignored by the LAPD and Georgia authorities. He's telling the world that music wasn't crazy and that they weren't lying. This is particularly distressing because T-Music has spent the last few years trying to recast itself as a conscious leader and comic. Every time he enters the stage to make a joke, people will be thinking of the hazy video of a woman who seems to be under the influence of drugs. The legal landscape is also evolving. New regulations in a number of states are beginning to permit survivors of sexual assault to look back, even if they were previously shielded by the statute of limitations. If Music 50 Cent has access to a video collection that some insiders refer to as the Harris Archive, the Harris family is facing more than just a PR catastrophe. They could be charged with a crime once more. If the film can show that a music crime was ongoing, involving interstate travel, or involved human trafficking, the federal government doesn't care how old it is. Since 2007, the FBI has been keeping an eye on T, and their fascination in famous performers has peaked. Use a machine gun for an arrest. Tiny's involvement in these charges is far more horrifying. In almost all of the stories of music victims, Tiny is not a bystander. Before the trap is set, she makes sure the women feel safe by actively participating in music and acting as a recruiter. In this identical music role, she plays the lovely face in a room full of predators, according to the released video. Because of this Judith dynamic, the public finds music in this instance especially problematic. With Escape and her own reality series, she shattered the notion of girl power. Music as the video becomes more well-known. The blue wall of hip-hop silence is shifting. In the music business, rappers typically stick together, but 50 Cent has defied this convention. He is treating T as an aberration whose sinister secrets are no longer worth protecting. Just like he did Diddy. The title of King of the South is being stripped away in real time and replaced with a more darker one. The irony song is known to all. I am a king, T famously proclaimed. But a king's rule is rarely destroyed by a man with a smartphone and resentment music from Queens. But we need to find out what 50 Cent's ultimate objective is. Does he behave in this manner on behalf of the victims? Music, or is this the height of petty behavior in an out-of-control argument? Music 50 Cent's speciality has always been the long game. He holds off on attacking until he has the kill shot music ready. Are you? By making this video public, he is alluding to the upcoming Kill music shoot. By using music to provide a safe space where people can express themselves, he is essentially encouraging more victims to come forward while providing them with the platform and music evidence to back up their accusations. The fallout is already having an effect on the Harris family's finances. Despite the fact that their reality show production had already been shaky, it is reported that this latest leak has forced sponsors' music to leave. In the entertainment world, you can put up with a lot, no matter how bad your songs, movies, or even a few months in music jail are. You cannot tolerate being called a predator on high-definition video. Music they are purportedly starting to feel quite thin. As we move on to the next part of our investigation, we need to look at the dark room itself. Music, the specific locations where these claimed actions took place, and the other famous people who might be caught music in the background of 50 Cent's leak videos. If he does, it's feasible that T won't collapse by himself. 50 Cent's music footage is reportedly just the beginning. Furthermore, The names hidden in the metadata of such files have the power to completely upend the music industry. The story no longer centers on a rapper and a few supporters. Music is a criminal enterprise beneath the surface of the Atlanta music scene. 50 Cent just turned on the lights. The fact that 50 Cent Music published this video is not just a blow to T.I.'s ego. It is the final nail in the coffin of a tradition that once defined Southern hip-hop. We've moved past the music, internet beef stage and into the federal penalties stage when someone as powerful as 50 Cent, who has successfully transitioned from a musician to a television mogul with enormous ties music to networks and investigative teams, decides to release photographic proof. He's not trying to gain likes. Clifford T. Harris is starting a system shutdown of this scenario. When the music stops, the lights turn on, and the entire music grand hustle empire is confronted with legal reality. The most immediate and horrible effect of this music leaked video is the industry-wide cascade it has caused. For long years, Atlanta's gatekeeper was T-Music. To reach the South, you had to pass through the king, Music, but when this video goes viral, that crown is turning into a noose. Prominent sponsors who once viewed Music, T as a reformed elder and statesman have now taken him off of his official music websites and social media accounts. There have apparently been significant production deals for upcoming unscripted series music placed on indefinite hold. In Hollywood, paused is a polite way of saying cancelled. No business is ready to take the chance of being associated with a possibly predatory music organization in 2026, no matter how much they love hip-hop culture. However, the real tale isn't only about the money, it has to do with the Harris family's federal shadow. Legal experts are drawing attention to a terrible component of 50 Cent's strategy: the metadata. When 50 Cent leaks a video, he does more than just show us a snippet. He is communicating his possession of the original files to the Department of Justice through Music. These files contain time, music, stomps, GPS coordinates, and, most importantly, the faces of other notable attendees. Music, for example. If the video shows women with reduced capacity being transported over state lines from a Miami club to an Atlanta residence, this becomes a federal human trafficking investigation rather than a local assault case. Music under the Mann Act. The FBI responds slowly but confidently. By making this footage public, 50 Cent Music has forced investigators who would have been hesitant to take action. Without Music initiating an official investigation, smoking gun evidence cannot be trending on Twitter and Instagram. The blue wall of silence. Music is officially crumbling. As we covered in Chapter 2, T-Music associates who were previously mute because to loyalty or fear are now realizing the signs. Under the federal system, the first person to speak gets the best deal. Before 50 Cent publishes song for the remainder of the archive, everyone in T.I.'s closest circle is viewing the video and wondering if they are in the next frame and whether they should contact their attorney.